Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at how to create this dashboard that you can see on your screen using Power BI. Today we're working on call center dataset. This file will be added in the description below if you want to follow along. This dashboard is interactive. When I click on 2024, for instance, everything filters. You can hover around the line chart to get more information regarding each month that you can see, and also the bar chart above to get more information. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create the background for this chart. I use PowerPoint to create my background. Here is a blank slide. So I'm going to insert a shape. Click on insert. Get a rectangular shape. Insert that here. I'm going to change the fill color to ash, and I'm going to edit the transparency. I want it to be at 90%. Okay, then change the outline to the same color. Then next is that I'm going to add the second shape that I need. That will be above. Change the fill color. Then I will add a rounded rectangle this time around. Edit the edges. Change the fill. I want it to be plain white. The outline to be white. Then add shadow. Also change the shadow texture, the color of the shadow. Then add my line. Change the outline of the line. Duplicate the line. Then group all three so I can just replicate. Paste that again here. Paste the final one. So finally, I'm going to group all. Then right click and save as picture. I'm going to be saving this as an SVG. So here we are in Power BI. We are going to import our background. So I'll click on the canvas, then format, canvas background, browse for images. We get that background here. And right now you can't see anything because it's set as 100% transparency. I'll reduce that to 0. You can see something, then set it to fit. So this is our background. So the next thing is to import our data set. I'll go to get data. It's a CSV file, personal data call center 2023 to 2024. So I am not going to clean anything. It's basically clean. So I'm going to load the data. So I'll quickly rename this as just data because the name is kind of so long for me. Then let's look at the data to see what we have. We have the date, the ticket ID, the channel that was used. In this channel, we have 3 channels: calls, chats, and emails. Then the resolution time is in days. And here we have whether the SLA is met or not, yes or no. Then here we have the category. We have account question, billing issue, login problem, and technical support. Then we have the region, and agent ID and customer satisfaction. Okay, I also have a date table here. It's a simple date table. I have the date, the month number, and month name. So I'm going to sort this month name by month number. So sort month name by month number. And also we have the month initial. So we're going to sort, you can see the formula for the month initial. We're going to sort that also by month number. Then we have the year. So the next thing I'm going to do is to create some measures that we are going to use for our matrices. The first measure we are going to create is the ticket volume. So right click on data, then new measure, ticket volume. We have count of the ticket ID column. So before we proceed, I am going to create a relationship between the date table and data. So this date relationship is going to be based on the date columns. So I'll click on manage relationship, click on new relationship, date, data and date table. Then click on the date here and connect that with data and a meaning to one relationship, then save. Now we have a relationship between these two tables. Then let's go back to continue. The measure we're going to be creating is volume month on month. We have a variable here to help us get the previous month. That is the last month. Then the next one is percentage month on month, dividing the ticket volume by the last month, then subtracting one from that to get the percentage. Then the return function here, we have a format function to help us to change the percentage month to month to percentage, and also an ampersand to concatenate an if function in the sense that if the percent month on month is greater than zero, give us the arrow up as as the next thing beside the percent month on month. If not, give us the arrow down. Then I'll save this. The next measure I'm going to be creating is the average resolution. So right click, the average resolution time, which is basically the resolution time columns in days divided by the ticket volume. Save that. Then next one is number of ticket meeting SLA. So here we use a calculate function to check the ticket volume that where SLA met is equal to yes. So that gives us the number of tickets that meets SLA. Then next one is to calculate the SLA compliance rate. New measure SLA compliance rate, which is basically the number of tickets meeting SLA divided by the total ticket volume times 100 to just give us the percentage. Next one is maximum SLA. So this particular one is basically a hard-coded measure. My maximum SLA is going to be 100%. Then the target SLA compliance rate, I'm going to hard code this as well, which is equal to 80%. You can select your own requirement. It could be 95 based on your requirement. But for my case, I want 80. So the next thing I'm going to do is to organize my measures in a folder. So I'll click on model view, select all my measures, then display folder, type measures, enter. Now, when I expand this, you can see we now have them arranged in there. So we are going to continue by creating our visualizations. First is to create the bar chart for the overall. So I'm going to be selecting a stack bar chart. Adjust that. Then get my ticket volume. in there, as well as my channel as my legend. Just that. Then I'll quickly clean this up. I don't want the title. I don't want the legend title as well. Then adjust this and change the colors of the bars. For the first one, which is calls, I want the color to be the screen. Then the rest shades of gray color. Then I'll turn off the background. I'm going to insert a text here to guide me as to which one I am working on. So this is for calls. And the color is blue. I'll turn off the background as well. Next, I'm going to add a new card for the total volume. Add ticket volume. Then on the call out, display none. $35. Work on the padding. Then I'm going to add a reference label. The reference label in our case is going to be volume month on month. I will select the label and edit the field name. Select all to edit the layout. I don't want the divider on as well. Then change the name to just volume. Then adjust that to the edge. So the next thing I'm going to do for this is to change the filter, add channel here, and filter for just calls. So beside this, I'm going to add a line chart for the trend. Before going forward, I will turn off the background of this as well. Then add my ticket volume and the month initial. So I'm going to quickly clean this up. Turn off the title, the axis title as well. Okay, that is not showing. The wires title, turn that off. And turn off the y-axis values as well. Then change the line chart, the line color itself. I need to also turn off the background of this, the border. That is fine now. Then next is the average resolution time. That is going to be a normal card visual. Add the average resolution time to it and edit that. Call out. Then turn off the label, turn on the title. So I am going to adjust that. Hey, the next thing is to add our gauge. For the gauge chart, we are going to be looking at the compliance rate. So I am going to add the XLA compliance rate as the value, then add the maximum as the maximum hard coded XLA, then the target as the target hard coded XLA as well. So I'm going to turn off the title, add a title to this, insert a text box, SLA compliance rate. So next thing I'm going to do is to adjust the filter for this as well to show only for calls, and also the gate chart to show for calls as well. Then we'll edit the gauge color. Next is a category. So for that, I am going to be adding a bar chart, then ticket and volume, ticket and category itself. Then I will clean this up. The color of the bar should be blue, and also the X and Y axis. I don't want the Y axis values to show. I don't want the I don't want the X axis values to show, and I don't want the title of the Y axis. I want to turn on the data label and expand this. Then the title itself, I want to reduce the font size, reduce that to 12. And the font itself to Slier UI. So next thing I'm going to do is to check all this and be sure that they are all filtered for calls. Here we have channel calls, filtered for calls. Okay. Here calls. So they are all filtered for calls. I am going to select all this and group them. One other thing that I haven't done is to add conditional formatting to our month-on-month change. So I'm going to click on the format pane, reference label, the value of the label, color. I am going to be using rows. We're going to be using the data for this measure, volume month on month. If this value contains arrow up, then show the color green. New row, if it contains arrow down, show the color red. So right now, it's actually showing this because I've not added the filter for this visuals. So let's add a slicer quickly. So I'm going to click on native slicer for my month name. Add the month name to it. change the slicer setting to drop down values. The value, I want the value to be white, but the background of the value, I want them in this color. Then I'm going to turn off the background itself. Then the title, font color to be white. I have the month name. So the slicer is actually affecting this, and I don't want the slicer to do that. So I'm going to right click on, I'm going to click on the slicer, then click on format, edit interaction, turn off edit interaction for it. So it's not going to affect that anymore. Format this. Next is to add the year slicer. I'm going to be using the new slicer. Adjust it and add year to it. Then edit the layout. Since they're just 2 years. And remove the title. Then on selection, change that. Colored values. The first color of the value should be white on a blue background. While unselected should be blue on a white background. Turn off the background itself. So 2024 is selected and here 2023 is selected. And when you select a particular month, it is filtering for that month. So the next thing I'm going to do is to replicate the same thing for chat and email. So now we have replicated for chat and emails. So you can see that when I filter for me, for instance, they all change based on the particular channel. So finally, I'm going to add a text box for the title of this report. So that is the end of this report. Thank you for watching. If you have questions, you can put that in the comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And like I said earlier, the file is attached in the description below if you want to replicate this. Thank you. Bye.